Hello, my name is Rachel and welcome back to my channel. Today I've got for you my January no spend review. As you may know, I've already done one whole year of no spending and I was really able to tune in what it was that I was spending my money on and declutter all the things that weren't serving me a purpose. And I'm now on my second year of a no spend year, so hopefully I'm going to see even more benefit of the fact that I won't be bringing in those items into my home that do not serve a purpose. So this is January's review and I apologise it is so late. The reason is I've been off with COVID and I've been really quite ill. I was actually ill for 2 weeks with it, but I really struggled with my breathing and my chest, and it's only in the last day, yesterday and today, that I've actually felt well enough and that I could breathe properly and that I had a little bit more energy. I'm still struggling with fatigue, and that is something that I've struggled with anyway, but this has kind of emphasised it. So I might do another video about the health things that I'm working on and working through at the minute. But yeah, COVID has completely set me back. I was off work and I just couldn't do daily tasks. So I'm relieved that I'm feeling okay and that I can get back to a bit of normality, because I have missed doing normal things. But I have been obviously keeping track of my spend up until I got COVID. Obviously I didn't spend anything while I had COVID because I went nowhere and did nothing. So it's helped me keep on budget, that's for sure. But let me share with you how I've got on for January. January as a whole is usually one of the hardest months financially. It's that month that has the longest amount of weeks in, plus the fact that you normally get a end of December payday early before Christmas. It means that you have a good 5 weeks, if not a little bit more, of stretching 1 month's pay, as well as using some of it for Christmas. So it can really impact on how people feel in January because of that stretch financially and being able to ensure that you have everything that you need to get by. So I want to just share with you what my aim was this month for January. For January I really wanted to make sure that I had a really good start with my no spend year, and that I really had a good understanding of what my budget would be for spend, for food, and how I was going to make sure that I actually stick to it. And obviously the rest of my money already goes on to allocated spends. I already had things that were accounted for, like bills and other things that were just kind of already budgeted for, already accounted for, and there's nothing I can do to change those. So I usually just track my petrol, my food and my spend in my videos for my no spend, and I kind of share with you how I get on with different ups and downs, because there's always months that are trickier than others, and it's about how we kind of work through that and get through to the next month without feeling like we're overwhelmed. So for this month I budgeted myself £70 for spend, and the plan was that this was to cover any activities and any non-essential items basically, or any replacement items. So I did spend about £32 on gifts. This is because there were a few gifts that I bought in this kind of spend month, which goes from like the 25th to the 25th. So I had some gifts that I still had to buy, and obviously payday was just before Christmas, so I kind of allocated those into that kind of month. So I did spend a little bit more than I would normally on gifts in a month. That's just because some of it was tagged on to Christmas. I then spent £12.80 on home items. This included two things. It was batteries, because I just needed some for various items, and my son needed some for different things. And I also bought some artificial flowers because I had a vase that I wanted to kind of utilise, but I didn't want to put real flowers in damaged vase. So I thought I would get some artificial flowers that were my favourite flowers, so I had a lovely kind of display that I could look at all of the time, because I really enjoy flowers anyway. So that's something that would make me happy. And that's the thing, it's about buying things that give you something back. So like buying something that's going to be purposeful to you, that's going to make you happy. Having some flowers on display on a regular basis, then it's worth investing in. So it's about choosing what you think is worth having in your home. So the next category, I spent £17 on clothing. This was a dress, a beanie and a shoulder bag, which was a replacement item. So I didn't spend very much in the sale, that was literally all I spent, but it was just items that were needed and I needed to replace some items, so it was adding value to my life. I then spent £4.40 on parking, which is just one of those things that you just kind of have to pay for. Living where I do, everywhere charges, so you can't really escape it, but it was probably around Christmas time that I needed to spend it, so it was needed. I then spent a bit of money on activities, so I spent £14 buying a film from Sky, because it was a film that I knew I would probably really enjoy, and I'm glad I did because it was worth doing. We were going to go and see it at the cinema, but we were a bit conscious about COVID and having to wear a mask inside all the time, so we thought we'd do the at-home experience and got popcorn and things like that and made it a really nice kind of evening. And then I also bought tickets for Museum of the Moon that we went to at Exeter Cathedral, and I bought it in last month's pay, but I went to it just this weekend because luckily, because I'd bought them before I had COVID, so luckily I was just about okay to be able to go to it, so that was really nice. I'll share some images of that as well. In total I spent £86 on spending, which I don't think was too bad. It's only £16 over budget, so that's helped me to really kind of fine-tune the things that I was needing to buy and purchase. And the next category that I track is food. So I have now extended my budget to £200 because that accounts for gluten-free foods. It just means that it's so much easier to track and easier to keep to budget, and it's just a bit more realistic of a budget. I need to eat, so it's important that I spend the money that I need to in the right areas. And I've done a lot of eating out of the cupboards. I think the fact that I had COVID meant that I had to a certain degree. I had to eat the things that I already had because I couldn't go to the shops and it wasn't easy to be able to ask people to do that. So I just utilised everything that I had and used up as much as I could, which was a really good opportunity to do so. So it really helped clear out the cupboards and then get myself in the right frame of mind to be able to stock it again to what we need. So overall for food I spent £196, so that's just on budget, which is really good. Petrol wise I budget £140. I never usually spend all the £140, but it does allow me to have those trips out and things like that. I was actually only £110 this month, but that's probably because I had COVID and I wasn't driving, so I didn't have to fill up again. So when I filled up again, it just meant that it fell in February's packet, so it didn't affect January, so I only spent £110. So it's normally been quite a tough month for me. I always struggle in January, like everybody. It's actually been quite a positive one. I feel like I've stuck to my budget and was able to be restrained when faced with sales and things like that, because it's so tempting when you see sales to be able to just click on it and just start clicking away and seeing the things that you like. But actually I've just realised that I just don't need lots of these things, so I try and take my time in purchasing things. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and I will be sharing more of my no spend updates over the coming months. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe below if you want to see more videos about minimalism, decluttering and my no spend year. Take care, bye.